Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadadhiyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamsya Shri Rupam Sagrajata Sahagana Raghunatham Nitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Deva Shri Radha Krishna Pada Sahagana Lilita Shri Vishakhamitaksha Tamam Vishnupadaya Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminite Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatadeshatari Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gauravuktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna. Hare Bol. So actually today we have very less time because I'm going to another place. Tonight I have bus. So night traveling I have to do today, but I have to reach on time. So I will have to finish the class early today. So please excuse me for the this thing. So we'll please start, and then actually we'll finish early also. So that is the reason. So we'll just begin. Now devotees are joining, of course. So in the meanwhile, yeah, the summary is short only, so we can read it. The summary. I'll just show the. Yeah. Yes. Somebody can read this. 64. The deliverance of King Murga. It's visible. Somebody can read.
Anantama Gopal Prabhu, you'd like to read? Asimananda Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah.
Chapter number 64, the deliverance of King Nirga. This chapter describes how Sri Krishna released King Nirga from a curse and instructed the royal order in the great danger of taking a Brahmana's property. One day, Samba and other young boys of the Yadava dynasty went to the forest to play, and after playing for a long time, they became very thirsty and began looking for water. Inside a dry well, they found an amazing creature, a huge lizard. Prabhu, can you little scroll, Prabhu? Yes, inside a dry well, they found an amazing creature, a huge lizard. A little bit, you have to scroll. Okay, otherwise I will. Yeah. Okay, yes. A huge lizard resembling a hill. The boys felt sorry for it and tried to pull it out. But after several attempts with leather thongs and ropes, they saw that they would not be able to rescue the creature. And thus they went to Lord Krishna and told him what had happened. The Lord accompanied them to the well and extending his left hand, easily lifted the lizard out. By the touch of the Lord Krishna's hand, the creature transformed at once into a demigod. Then Lord Krishna asked, "Who are you? And how did you assume such a lowly form?" The divine being replied, "My name was King Nirga, a son of Ikshvaku, and I was famous for giving charity. Indeed, I gave away countless cows to numerous brahmanas. But On one occasion, a cow belonging to a first-class Brahmana wandered into my herd. Unaware of this, I gave this cow to a second Brahmana. I gave this cow in charity to a different Brahmana. When the cow's previous owner saw the second Brahmana taking this cow away, the first Brahmana claimed the cow as his and began arguing with the second Brahmana. After quarreling for some time, they approached me and I implored them to each take 100,000 cows in exchange for the cow and to please forgive me for the offense I had unknowingly committed. But neither Brahmana would accept my proposal and the matter remained unsettled. Shortly thereafter, I died and I was taken by the Yamadutas to the court of Yamaraj. Yama asked me which I prefer to do first, suffer the results of my sins and enjoy the results of my pious acts. I decided to suffer my sinful reactions first, and thus I assumed the body of a lizard. After King Nirga had told his story, he offered prayers to Lord Krishna and then mounted a celestial airplane which transported him to heaven. Lord Krishna then instructed his personal associates as well as the general mass of people on the dangers of stealing a Brahmana's property. Finally, the Lord returned to his palace. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. So this is the story of King Riga. So this King Riga was a pious king. So, so what had happened is, once upon a time when the boys of Yadu dynasty, the Samba and others, they are playing and they saw a big lizard inside the well, and it was a huge lizard, not a small lizard. And so they were trying to remove the lizard from the well, but they were not able to remove the lizard, save the lizard. So then they called Krishna and asked Krishna to please get the lizard out. And Krishna, with his left hand, he just went, his hand he extended, it brought out the lizard very easily. And then the lizard suddenly turned into a beautiful body. So he was a king before, and he told the story that how what happened. The cow, he was such a donor. He said, I was. You're able to see the story?
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
Prabhu, yes.
So see this big lizard, and he told that I was a before in Riga was famous for giving charity. I used to give so much charity, and I gave charity to Brahmanas. And once I gave so many cows, one cow came back to my herd back from that donation, and that cow again I donated to to another Brahmana. But that cow, that Brahmana came first. Brahmana said, "This is my cow," and the second Brahmana said, "This is mine." And there was quarrel. But then the Nigga, he said, I will give you 1 lakh cows for that one cow. Why are you worrying about that? But they said, no, we want this cow. So they both were fighting, and it was unresolved. And then finally, when King Diga died, he got the body of lizard because he actually, what happened, it was like he gave a second time donation of the same cow. So it was like King Riga stole the Brahmana's property. It was like that. So that's why he went to Yamraj, and Yamraj asked, what you want to suffer first or enjoy? He said, let me suffer first. So he immediately got the body of a lizard, and by the touch of Lord Krishna, he got delivered. He went back. So like that, then Lord Krishna tells to the all the Yadavas, see, this is the effect of stealing Brahmana's property. Like that, the see. Lord Krishna instructs his devotee about charity and devotion to Brahmanas. He tells this to the Samba and other boys and whoever present about the importance of Brahmanas. Like that. So, so this is a story, and we see that when Krishna came there, these boys were trying to remove, but when Krishna came, he just easily removed, he brought that lizard out. And when Krishna touched the lizard turned into what? A beautiful king, a demigod. So the first lesson we learn is Krishna's touch. Oh, somebody says. Sorry. What is happening? Okay, Krishna's touch brings transformation in life. That is the first lesson. And Krishna's touch brings transformation in life. So here, Krishna's touch brought transformation in the lizard. The lizard suddenly turned into a demigod. So, any other incidents where Krishna touched somebody and he got some body?
Ubja.
Kubja,
Okay.
the
Kubja.
humpback lady.
Yeah. So there was transformation due to Krishna's divine touch. There was transformation in Kubja's body. She became so beautiful. Any other?
Nalakuver and Manigravan.
Nalakuver and Manigriv. So Krishna went there and with the ukhal, with that ukhal, the tree got transformed because Krishna went there and just by the Krishna touched the ukhal and ukhal touched the trees and trees got delivered. When Krishna didn't touch directly, but still the trees got transformed. Any other story of transformation by Krishna's touch?
Prabhuji, Sakadasura through the lotus feet.
Yeah, Shaktasura. Shaktasura, we say that he was a cart demon. Krishna touched his small lotus feet to the cart and he got delivered. He got transformed. But any one you have heard about that snake. What was the name of that snake? When Nanda Maharaj and they are all gone to worship Lord Shiva, and that night they slept in the forest. That big
Ambikavan.
Ambikavan. Yeah. So what was the name of the snake? Sudarshan or something? Sudarshan was the name of the snake. I think. Sudarshan was the Gandharva who got the body of the snake, and he was trying to devour Nanda Maharaj. So that time Nanda Maharaj shouts loudly, cries for Krishna, and Krishna comes there, and then just by Krishna's touch of lotus feet of Krishna's touch with the snake, he gets transformed. Any other by Krishna's touch somebody gets transformed? Lord Ram.
Lord Vishnu Prabhuji, when he touches from his Panchajanya on Dhruva, he gets a lot of knowledge and he chants some hymns.
Yes. Yonta pravishya mama vacha imam prasuktam. That verse is there. Very nice verse. So he says that because of your touch, my whole body has become so ecstatic and my whole dead senses have come to alive, he says. So, yeah, he got transformed by Krishna's touch. So Krishna's touch is transforming. Lord Ram touched whom? And then somebody got transformed.
Alia.
That's stone.
Ahilya. The stone got transformed into a woman. Ahilya. The story of that Guha. So when Lord Ram is about to sit in his boat, he wants to cross that river, Sarayu. So Guha is there with his boat. So that time Guha says, "Oh Lord, I cannot take you on the boat." The Lord says, "Why? We want to cross. We'll pay you." Guha says, "That's okay, but first of all, I have to wash your feet first. Then only we can come." So really, so he washes Lord's feet, and he says, "Okay, wash." And then Lord allows, and then the Guha allows Lord Ram and Sita and Lakshman to come on the boat. And with that water, Guha, what he does, that Charnamrut, he drinks himself and gives to his family, and they all drink the water of Lord Ram's lotus feet. So then Lord asks, "Why you wash my feet? Why? What is this weird condition before we sit in the boat?" So Guha says, "See, because of your touch of your lotus feet, a stone got transformed into a woman. So I am afraid, because of this, your lotus feet, the dust from that, touch the stone and then the stone become woman. So because this dust of your lotus feet is very powerful, it can transform a stone into a woman. So I am afraid that if you sit with this dust on my board and this dust touches my board will get transformed into a woman. You know? And I afraid, he said, I already have one wife, and again another woman will get transformed, and then this boat is my life and soul, and if it gets transformed to another woman, what I will do? That will be difficulty for me. So that's why I had to wash your lotus feet. So Guha gives the reason. So this was internal reason or external reason?
Internal reason.
Guha washing the feet of Lord Ram.
Internal reason, bro.
Internal? What? What are the external? Why Guha washed Lord Ram's feet? Was this the reason? Is he put the condition before the Lord that you cannot climb on the boat unless I wash your feet. And when Lord asks what is the reason, so he tells this reason. So this is the actual reason or not the actual reason?
This is the external reason.
What is the internal reason?
I've heard this project, but I'm not able to recollect. But it looks like he wanted to wash the Supreme Lord's feet and
Purification.
takes his Saranamrit. Maybe Lord Ram
Yeah,
would not have allowed otherwise.
yeah, that was the main reason that he wants to learn.
Purification.
Yeah, purification. He wants to take that Charnamrit and he wants to drink and he wants to give that Charnamrit to his family members. So that is it. But if he says that reason to Lord Ram will not allow na. So he has to make some reason. He says that your dust is very powerful. It will transform the stone into woman. And my boat also will get transformed into woman. So I have to wash your feet. So that is external. The internal reason is he wants to drink the Charnamrit of the Lord. So devotee is also very intelligent. Lord doesn't want to give Charnamrit, but devotee somehow takes the Charnamrit. So anyway, so this is the transformation. So Lord's touch is transformative. And not just the body gets transformed or the physical form, but we see in our lives got transformed by Krishna's touch. So I had never thought I will become like this. Right not? When I had taken admission into the college, I remember my father and they had come and taking admission in the college, in the prestigious college of MIT in Pune, and they had so many dreams that our son will grow and become a big man, and then I also had different dreams, but down the line after so many years, suddenly I am seeing myself in the here the spotlight, and I never imagined I will be like this. So it's real transformation. So Krishna's touch is transformative. It brings transformation in the body also and in the consciousness also. So many of you feel that by Krishna's touch in your lives have changed. Anybody feel like that? Yeah?
Definitely,
Sure.
Prabhuji.
by touching the feet of the pure senior devotees.
You feel that same change?
Acharyas and Guru Maharaj.
Yes. Yeah, same potential they also have. Pure devotees. Yes. So you feel by Krishna coming into our lives have changed so much. And sometimes we should think of our previous life. Means not that how I am missing those things, but we should think that where was I? What was I doing? And today I am here. There's such a great transformation in my life. Hmm? So we will get some faith in bhakti and with determination will practice. Where was I? Now where am I? And how I will progress. So we will get conviction in the path of bhakti when we sometimes remember our past. And how Krishna's touch transformed my life. So Krishna's touch is always transformative. So here we see Krishna's touch brought transformation in the lizard's life. By Krishna's touch, that his body got transformed. From the lizard, he became a demigod and he went back to heaven. So like that, not that in heaven he went. Actually, it is said that even in heaven, they go for preaching. Somebody gets delivered. Even this Nalkuvera, where they went after deliverance?
Heavenly planets.
Yeah, we should not think, they went for enjoyment again, even after Krishna's touch. So they
You are
went
doing
to
pravachan, Prabhuji.
yeah, in heaven they are preaching. They went for preaching, like that it is told, like that. So similar in Riga also, he got transformed. It said that he went to heaven. So it's not that he went to heaven to enjoy. He got transformed by Krishna's touch, and there he preached. He preached. Just like all of you have gone to Kanaya Desh and you are preaching there. So similarly, Nriga also went to heaven and he is preaching there, like that. So like that, Krishna's touch brings transformation in lives. So we should give Krishna's touch to everybody. Just like you know that part, huh?
Do I find another example? Ajamila example is also like that. Ajamila. He got an opportunity also.
Yes, by Krishna's touch of holy name. He chanted the holy names. And by that holy name, his again memory got revived again. What I was doing. And then he corrected his ways, and later after that, he did tapasya and went back to Godhead. Yeah. So Krishna's direct touch, or Krishna's holy name touch, or Krishna's devotee's touch in our lives surely brings transformation. We are no more same personality. So that's why Prabhupada would say, my books are like time bomb. They explode, then they bring transformation in people's lives. So like that, Krishna's books, Krishna's holy name, Krishna's prasad, or Krishna's touch, their physical touch. So that brings transformation. So we should give Krishna to people. We give Krishna, that touch of Krishna brings transformation. Actually, literally, we have seen when we go out for book distribution, sometimes we give Bhagavad Gita and people touch. By that touch, there is transformation. So sometimes we just give, we show Gita and we tell, but the best way is you give Gita in his hand, let him touch, and then you see transformation. Then he doesn't feel like giving it back. Then he purchases. But if you just show this is Gita and in this everything is there, like this, that, there, but he sees from distance, then there is no transformation. Krishna's touch is very transformative. You give in his hand. Sometimes people also say, so you know that, na? Once,
I was seeing एक मुलाकात कृष्ण भक्त के साथ. Last week was Vaishnav Sevadas. He is the president of Rajkot Temple.
Okay.
He said he got a book Beyond Birth and Death from some devotee. Okay, in Joe Temple, and he said, I don't want you people are making fool just to make money you are giving. He said, okay, you take it free. And then devotee, he took, okay, I'll take it for my mother. And then he took the book and he threw it somewhere in the house. And then he got opportunity to read that book, 25 pages, he said, only 25 pages. And it transformed him. And his association of devotees, and he today is the president of Rajkot Temple.
You see, Krishna's touch is very powerful.
Yeah.
As Prabhupada said, just if people touch my books, there will be transformation. Just by touching, we should give in their hands, take in the hand. And sometimes people say, no, 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 no. In India at least, hey, I cannot touch. Why? Today I have eaten non-veg. I cannot touch. I cannot touch. Then what we do, you cannot touch, no problem. We give inside a polythene bag. Take this polythene bag, put Gita in there, and carry this. Then they cannot give reason. So we cannot touch. You don't touch. Touch the polythene. Take the polythene. Inside Bhagavad Gita, take it. So people when they touch, there is transformation. And we have seen actually Bhagavad Gita is powerful. So Krishna's touch by prasad, by holy name, by books. So that is Krishna directly. So Krishna's touch brings transformation. That is for sure. Then that is the first lesson. Then second is charity is good only in connection with Krishna. So charity is good as long as it is connected with Krishna. So you see the famous kings, famous for charity are who are devotees, where Bali Maharaj. Bali is considered Dan Veer Bali. So because his charity was in connection with Krishna, ultimately he succeeded in life. And the word, the Balidan, how this word came, Balidan. What is the meaning of the word Balidan?
Sacrifice.
Sacrifice. The word has come from Bali. The word has come from Bali. Balidan means that what Bali did, he sacrificed everything for Lord Krishna. So he is called Danavir, Bali. So Bali was a great charity, which he gave a lot of charity, famous person who gave charity. Then Shibi Maharaj, famous for giving charity, and he gave charity of his own body. He actually cut his body for for a pigeon. Then the Ranti Dev, he gave charity of the food. He didn't care about it. He was about to eat, but he gave charity that for the sake of others, quenching the hunger. So Shibi Maharaj, Ranti Dev, Bali Maharaj. So their charity is glorified because that was in connection with the Lord. But charity of Nriga is not glorified because he was not a devotee actually. He was a kind of karma kandi person who do charity, charity. That's why this kind of charity landed him in trouble. Because Krishna was not the center, there was not Krishna conscious charity. He is not considered a devotee, he is considered as a karma kandi. And another person who was called so charitable, but again Krishna was not centered. And that was who? People who say as Danvir, whom people call Danvir.
Karna?
Karna. Yeah. He also landed in trouble. The charity which is not in connection with the Lord actually is dangerous. It will lead to trouble. So we see kings like Bali, like Shibi, Ramkidev, and so these devotees, they were devotees and their charity was perfect. But the charity of Nriga, charity of Karna actually was not useful. Couldn't save them. See, he gave so much charity in Nriga, but ultimately he had to take birth again as a lizard. He had to go to Yamaraj. And Yamaraj said, which do you want? Pious or impious? What do you want to do first? Suffer or enjoy? But for it, Hare Krishna? Somebody wants to ask. So for Yamaraj, because pious impious means he had done pious activity impious. So he has to suffer and enjoy. But if one is a devotee, then what happens by devotional activity?
It is akarma. So there is no reaction.
Yeah, so there is no reaction. So Yamaraj asked this question to Riga. This proves itself he was a karmakandi, because his activities, if they would have been bhakti, they would have nullified both. There would be no action and reaction. But Yamaraj asked him, "Paila kaun sa chahiye? You want to suffer or enjoy?" So he had done pious activities, and this wrong one activity was simply considered because he was stealing for Brahman. But one who does charity in connection with Krishna, then actually that charity is glorified. That charity is considered charity in mode of Shuddha Sattva. But other charities may be in Sattva Guna, Raja Guna, Tamo Guna. They all will lead to bondage only. So Karna
Pure
also
goodness.
pure
Pure
goodness,
goodness.
Shuddha Sattva. Yes. So the examples of Rantidev, Shivi Maharaj, and Rantidev, Shivi Maharaj, and Bali Maharaj, they are considered in mode of Shuddha Sattva, like that. So charity is good only when it is in connection with Lord Krishna. Otherwise, it will not save us from cycle of birth and death. You see, what was the mistake of Nriga? Actually, there was hardly any mistake of Nriga. Was there any actual mistake? Actually, the cow came in his hand. He just gave it again. I was ready to give one lakh cows for that cow. So, from material point of view, what was the mistake of Nriga? He was so innocent, but still he was caught because in Karma Kanda, complications are like this. Only if you would have been devotee, you would have been saved. You wouldn't have gone there. So that's why charity in mode of pure goodness is best. So charity in connection.
But Prabhu, even though Karma Gandhi, he got the opportunity to get Krishna's touch.
Yeah, that was of course Krishna's mercy, and there he got in that well which was in Dwarka. That is another thing where Krishna delivered. That is like Krupa Siddhi. Lord Himself came and gave that mercy. But we cannot expect that to happen with every karma kandi. We cannot expect that with every karma kandi who does will get mercy like that. Hello. Yes. So yeah, I have to go in 2 minutes now because the vehicle has come. So charity in mode of pure goodness is the best. Charity in goodness also will bind us ultimately. So he got another birth actually, Niga. So Niga and Karna's their charity is considered in not in pure goodness, Shuddha Sattva, like that. And third is what Krishna actually tells this lesson to the all the Yadus and all the that one should have devotion to the Brahmanas. One should not displease Brahmanas. That's what Krishna tells to Samba and other boys and all the Yadus that displeasing Brahmanas is not good, or taking their property is not good. It's dangerous. But what happens later? Same Samba and friends, what they do?
Yeah, they say that he dresses like a woman and he goes and says what child will be born for me and all that.
They displease again Brahmanas, and then they had to suffer. So here Lord Krishna told them that you should not displease or Brahmanas. This lesson we should learn, but still they forgot the lesson. When Narad Muni, they offended them, and then that's how Yadu Vamsha was destroyed. So again,
One
Lord
more,
Krishna.
Prabhuji, sorry to disturb. One more lesson is whenever Krishna tells something, we have to make sure that we remember that and execute that as per his wish.
Yeah, we should not forget the lesson. He gave a lesson, but then the Samba and the same boys they forgot. So Krishna is telling about that. Once Brahmanas, you should not displease Brahmanas. Brahmanas got displeased, and Nriga got a body of a lizard. So displeasing Brahmana is dangerous, or taking the wealth of Brahmana is also not good. So Brahmanas, then they get angry, then you have to suffer. So importance of pleasing Brahmanas, that's what Krishna tells to them. So these are the 3 lessons I covered. We'll quickly revise, and I have to just rush today. Otherwise, I will miss the bus. So we'll tell the 3 lessons.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. First lesson is Krishna's touch brings transformation in life.
Krishna's touch brings transformation. Then
Second is charity should be given keeping Krishna in the center.
Charity should be given by giving Krishna in the center. Otherwise, charity will lead us to. Yeah, Shuddha Sattva. Then?
Don't displease Brahmana.
One should not displease Brahmana. One should not bring upon himself the curse of a Brahmana. It's dangerous. One should not displease Brahmana. That is the third lesson. Okay, so I'm really sorry today that things have become quite hectic for me. From morning I'm just speaking, and then I have to go, and tomorrow I have to there Aurangabad. I have to go. So today we'll have a short class.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Short and beautiful.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Prabhuji, you should have warm milk with haldi, Prabhuji, to keep your throat intact.
Yeah, milk is there in front of me, but I cannot drink. I have to rush now.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you,
No
Prabhuji.
problem.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you very much for
Hare
your
Bol.
schedule, giving your time to us. Thank you. We'd like to thank Hare Krishna Mahamantra 3 times for Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha
Kripa Sandhya Patitana
Anantapuri Vaishnava ki jai.
Jai, Rudrashri Bhagavatam ki jai, Chaitanya Chandra Prabhuji ki jai, Sai Gaura Pramanande.
Hare Hare Bol.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Amraj